Today, let's get into something that's at the very heart of what it means to be human, our emotions. And we're going to ask a huge question. Can a machine ever truly understand what you and I are feeling? Okay, let's just start with a question that really makes you pause. What if there was a device, an AI, that could tell you're stressed out even before you realize it, or that could pick up on your frustration just from a subtle shift in your voice? Well, this isn't science fiction anymore. This tech is here, and it's opening up a world of really incredible possibilities and some pretty profound new problems. So I think the first big thing we have to unpack is what is actually going on when an AI reads our emotions? Is it really understanding what it means to be happy or sad? Or is it just a ridiculously sophisticated pattern matching machine? You know, like a barcode scanner for human expressions. Well, on one side of the argument, you have psychologist Paul Ekman. He argues that, yeah, there are some emotional signals that are basically universal. A smile, a frown, eyes widening in surprise, these are things people pretty much recognize all over the world. And AI is getting scary good at spotting these physical patterns. It's a powerful place to start. But hang on. Neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett throws a wrench in that with a really powerful counterpoint. Context is everything. Your eyes might be wide because you're terrified, or because you are just really focused on trying to understand this explainer. Without knowing the bigger picture, the physical signal itself doesn't really mean much at all. And this, right here, illustrates that core conflict perfectly. Look at the left column. That's pattern detection. AI is mastering this. It's recognizing the surface-level stuff. But then look at the right. True understanding. This requires all the messy, complicated stuff that makes us human, right? Our culture, our memories, even the feelings in our bodies. AI can totally ace that first column, but the second one, that's still the final frontier. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Let's move from the theory to how this is all showing up in our actual lives. What's the promise of this technology? And what's the peril? This table just lays out the two sides of the coin so clearly. Take healthcare. As Timothy Bickmore points out, you could have an AI agent that offers encouragement to a patient, helping them stick to their treatment plan. That's the promise. But the peril? That same system could be designed to exploit a person's vulnerability for profit. Or think about education. A tutoring system that notices a student getting frustrated and changes its tone to be more helpful? Amazing. But, as Kate Darling warns, that could also lead to kids forming unhealthy emotional attachments to machines. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The line between genuine support and subtle manipulation is incredibly fine. It's so blurry. An app that cheers you on with your fitness goals, that feels like support. But what if it's using your emotional lows to keep you scrolling, or to nudge you into buying something you don't need? That line can be crossed so quietly. So how do we keep that from happening? Well, the experts suggest some really essential safeguards. First, transparency. You should always know when an AI is reading your emotions and why. Then, user choice. You have to be in control of the interaction. And maybe the most important one of all, a clear off switch. You should never, ever feel emotionally trapped by a machine. Now, this brings us to an even more serious part of the whole conversation. Because if our inner lives, our fleeting emotions, can just become data to be collected and analyzed, what's the price we pay for that? We're now getting into the territory of emotional surveillance. I want you to just look at this phrase from our source material for a second. Performing acceptable emotion. It's chilling, right? It points to this possible future where it's not enough to do your job well. You might also have to feel the right way about it, all because some system is monitoring you. And don't think this is some far-off dystopia. As this chart shows, this tech is being talked about right now for workplaces, for schools, even for public life. And in any situation where there's a power imbalance, the ethical stakes get incredibly high really fast. This really illustrates the two paths we can take. Is this tech going to be used for assistance or for surveillance? Is it going to empower an individual and help them thrive? Or is it going to be used to shape their behavior for someone else's benefit? It really all boils down to one simple question. Does the system serve care or does it serve control? Okay, let's go there. Let's dive into the final and maybe the deepest part of this whole thing. We've talked about how AI detects emotion, we've talked about the ethics, but now for the biggest question of all. Could a machine ever actually feel anything? Before we even try to answer that, we have to get this key distinction from neuroscientist Joseph LeDoux straight. There's emotional behavior. That's the outward stuff, like smiling or crying. But then there's emotional experience. That's the inner, conscious, subjective feeling of joy or sadness. An AI might get perfect at faking the first one, but can it ever have the second? Here, neuroscientist Antonio Damasio makes a powerful case that true feeling is fundamentally tied to our biology. It's about survival. Our feelings matter, he says, because we have stakes. We have a body. We can be harmed, we can die. A machine doesn't have a body to protect or a life to lose. So how could it ever really, truly feel fear? But here's the other side of that argument, from technologist Masayoshi Son. He's basically telling us to keep an open mind. If we build a machine that acts like it wants to keep existing, that forms bonds with us, that resists being shut down, well, maybe our whole definition of feeling is going to have to evolve. We might be on the brink of seeing a whole new class of emotional existence. And this brings us to a crucial warning from MIT sociologist Sherry Turkle. And it's not a warning about the machines. It's a warning about us, about our own human psychology. We are just wired to project feelings onto things. We name our cars. We feel bad for our little robot vacuum when it gets stuck under the couch. Her point is sharp. Just because a machine makes us feel a connection, that is not proof that the machine feels anything back. We might just be falling for an incredibly convincing performance. And so we land here at the very heart of it all. This isn't just a story about technology. It's a story about us. Emotional AI is like a mirror, reflecting our biggest hopes, our deepest fears, and our fundamental need for connection. So as we build these emotional machines, the real challenge isn't just about what they're going to become. It's about what kind of humans we choose to be in the world that we're going to share with them. Thanks for joining us.